Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gate Engineering online learning classes. In this video, we are going to discuss two problems on finding the resonant frequency for a given circuit. So the first problem is very simple and straightforward. In the circuit diagram, we have to compute the resonant frequency for the circuit shown in figure. So first we need to understand what is the resonant frequency and how we can solve the problem. What is the procedure to finding the resonant frequency? That is very important to solving this approach. So first we understand what is the resonant frequency. Resonant frequency we can compute from the impedance or admittance. It's up to you. If you are comfort in the finding the impedance of this circuit, you find the impedance of this circuit. If you are comfort in finding the admittance of this circuit, you find the admittance of this circuit. So what is the main thing? If I draw a diagram of the resonance, this is the frequency axis, this is the impedance, and if he is plot like the Gaussian well curve, so this is the center point is the nothing but the resonance frequency omega r, or in terms of hertz we can write it as f of r. So this resonance frequency occurs when imaginary of impedance is equal to imaginary of admittance is equal to 0. So overall point is that we have to compute the impedance of this circuit or we have to compute the admittance of this circuit. So let's begin how we can solve it. I think you are familiar in finding the equivalent impedance or equivalent admittance of this circuit. So you can easily find out the resonant frequency. So let's begin. We understand this is the capacitor which is C, this is the inductor, we can write it as L, this is the resistor, we can give name is R1, and this is we can give it as R2. So we have given circuit and we can write down the expression for the admittance, that will be nothing but Y is equal to j omega C plus 1 divided by R1 plus j omega L plus 1 divided by R2. We are writing in the reciprocal of the resistance because we are computing the admittance. Here we are not computing the impedance. If we compute the impedance, we'll use the series parallel combination like that R1 plus j omega L into R2 divided by R1 plus j omega L plus R2. So equivalent of these two branches will be the impedance in that case. So here we are going to compute the admittance. Let's note down what is the value of C. C is here 600 picofarad. R1 is 1.8 ohm. R2 is 22 kilo ohm. And L is 10 microhenry. So we are going to compute the admittance of this. So Y is equal to j omega C. So j omega into 600 into 10 to the power minus 12 plus 1 divided by R1 plus j omega L1. It is 1.8 plus j omega L is 10 microhenry. 10 into 10 to the power minus 6 plus 1 divided by R2, that is 22 into 10 to the power 3. Now we simplify it, we will get Y is equal to j omega 6 into 10 to the power minus 10 into 1.8 j omega 6 into the power minus 10 plus 1.8 minus j omega into 10 to the power minus 5 divided by 1.8 square plus j omega to 10 to the power minus 5 square plus 1 divided by 22 into 10 to the power 3. So admittance is going to be, we are getting j omega 6 into 10 to the power minus 10 plus 1.8 minus j omega into 10 is to the power minus 5 divide by 3.24 plus or minus omega square into 10 is to the power minus 10 plus 1 divided by 22 into 10 is to the power 3. So here we will separate the imaginary and real part. So denominator is the real now. So this part, this term is I will mention in the different color. So this part, part 1 and this part is the real. So we can separate it and we can write 1 divided by 22 into 10 is to the power 3 plus 1.8 divided by 3.24 plus omega square 10 is to the power minus 10. This is the real part. Now we are separating its imaginary part also. So we can write plus j omega. This is the imaginary term and this is also imaginary term. Plus j omega 6 into 10 is to the power minus 10 minus 10 is to the power minus 5 divided by 3.24 plus omega square into 10 is to the power minus 10. So now we have two different terms. So now what we have? We have two different terms. One is this, which is the real part of the admittance, and this is the imaginary part of the admittance. We have real as well as imaginary part, and we know resonance frequency occurs at imaginary part of admittance is equal to 0. When imaginary part of admittance is 0, so now imaginary part of y equal, we substitute imaginary part of y equal to 0 and we'll compute the value of omega. At what value of omega we are getting the imaginary part of the y, imaginary value of the admittance which is 0, we have to compute the value of the frequency which is the omega, that will be the resonance frequency in radian per second. After that, we'll convert that frequency in the hertz by using omega equal to 2 pi f or f is equal to omega divided by 2 pi. Let's see. So, we have imaginary term, that is omega into 6 into 10 is to power minus 5 or 6 into 10 to the power minus 10 minus 10 is to the power minus 5 divided by 3.24 plus omega square into 10 is to the power minus 10 is equal to 0. So this omega will be 0, and now we will equate it and we'll get 10 is to the power minus 5, which will be equal to 3.24 plus omega square into 10 is to the power minus 10 into 6 into 10 is to the power minus 10. And here this will be cancelled out. Here we will get 1, here we will get 10 is to the power minus 5. Okay. So if we solve it, if after further solving it, we will get 3.24 plus omega square into 10 is to the power minus 10, which will be equal to 10 is to the power 5 divided by 6, and omega square will be equal to 10 is to the power 5 divided by 6 minus 3.24 into 10 is to the power 10. So omega will be equal to 12.9 mega radian per second. This is the frequency radian per second, which is nothing but the omega r, because here at this frequency imaginary value of the admittance will be 0, or frequency in hertz we will compute that it will be omega r divided by 2 pi, and we are getting 2.05 megahertz. Let's check in our option. Option C is correct. Now we are going to solve another problem in which we have given one dependent source. Here independent source is not given. We have only dependent source. What we have? Only dependent source. In such case, we have to compute the resonant frequency F0 for this circuit. So here, in such case, you need to recall the Thevenin's theorem. Thevenin's theorem for what? For computation of ZTH. You need to recall the Thevenin's theorem for computation of ZTH. How we can find out the ZTH when we have given only dependent source, and you can find out the link for the Thevenin's theorem for dependent source at the top right corner of this video. So I will tell you how we can compute the ZTH when we have only dependent source. In such case, we consider one dummy source of 1 ampere current source, dummy current source of 1 ampere, or it's up to you. You can compute, you can consider 10 ampere source, you can consider 20 ampere source, you can consider 30 ampere source. It's up to you, or you can consider 100 ampere source. But for easy computation, we usually consider 1 ampere current source as a dummy source across the terminal. So let's see how we can do it. We have a given circuit, one resistor which is connected with the inductor in series. Then we have one capacitor, and we have parallelly given one voltage source, that is a current source, that is dependent current source, and it is depending on the value of the voltage, and value of this current source is V1 divided by 2. Value of the inductor is given 1 millihenry, resistor is 10 ohm, and capacitor is 50 nanofarad. And what is this V1? V1 is nothing but the voltage across the resistor. This is V1. Now at this terminal we have to compute the ZTH. In such case, we will consider one current source of 1 ampere, and we'll find out the voltage across this terminal VTH. That will be the VTH or VAB. We'll consider one voltage across this terminal. Let us consider this is the A and this is the B. Across the current source of 1 ampere, voltage is VAB. Then ZTH will be nothing but VAB divided by 1. If you are considering 10 ampere current source, then in such case ZTH will be VAB divided by 10. If you are considering 20 ampere current source, then ZTH will be VAB divided by 20. So we have considered 1 ampere current source across the terminal. Now we will find out the voltage across this current source. Then this value of the voltage will be nothing but the ZTH. So now here this current is flowing in the circuit. This is the 1 ampere current is flowing in the circuit, and this 1 ampere is here, and here current will be 1 plus V1 divided by 2. Okay, so let's see what will be the value of V1. V1 is the voltage across the resistor 10 ohm. So V1 is nothing but 10 into 1, because current in this branch is 1 ampere. So V1 is 10 volt. Then value of this current source is V1 divided by 2, that is 5 volt. Okay, so current in this branch is 6 ampere. Now if we apply the KVL in this entire loop, so we will get expression with VAB, that is the voltage across the current source is VAB is equal to V1 into I, that is the V1 is equal to 10. So we can write it is at 10 plus j omega L into I plus j omega L is 1 millihenry, that is 10 to the power minus 3, and I is the 1 ampere in this branch. So we can write 1 plus 1 divided by j omega C. C is the 50 nanofarad, that means 50 into 10 to the power minus 9, and current in this branch is 1 plus 5, that is a 6. So VAB is here 10 plus j omega 10 to the power minus 3 plus or we can write it as minus j divided by omega 50 into 6 into 10 to the power 9. We can write it this way also. Okay. So now what we have to compute? We have to compute, and this ZTH will be VAB divided by 1. So it is equal to VAB. So whatever we are computing here, that is the ZTH only. And for the resonance, we consider, and for the resonance, we know imaginary resonance frequency will occur when imaginary part of the impedance is equal to 0. So this part will be 0 at what frequency? That is the resonance frequency. So this is the imaginary and this is the real. So we are going to write the imaginary part of the impedance, that is 10 to the power minus 3 omega minus 6 into 10 to the power minus 9 minus 6 into 10 to the power 9 divided by omega 50 omega, which is equal to 0. If we simplify it, after simplifying you will get the value of omega, that is omega r or omega naught, you can represent by any notation. Omega naught, it will be 346 kilo radian per second. Now we'll see the option. In this option, you can see that question is asked in kilohertz. That means we need to convert the frequency in hertz from the radian per second. And we know frequency f naught is omega naught divided by 2 pi. And if you write omega naught 346 divided by 2 pi, that will be equal to 55 kilohertz. Now we got 346 kiloradian per second and 55 kilohertz. So you can make mistake by selecting option A at 346 kilohertz. So be careful about the unit also, because you have computed the resonance frequency at 346 kiloradian per second, not kilohertz. This is for omega r and this is for fr, or FO is given in the question, so we can write f naught or omega naught. If here written as kiloradian per second, then option A is correct. Otherwise, option B is always correct, because 55 kilohertz is given. All the options are given in the kilohertz. So be careful about the unit. Sometimes what happens, you solve correctly each and everything and you finish that omega naught equal to 346. So don't make such kind of the mistakes in the exam. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this video.